It's hard to believe that 100 years has gone by since my grandfather started this business.
To hear stories about some of the people that have worked at our company over the years.
We look back at generations before us, and we want to make sure we live up to their expectations.
And I have to give some credit to our father and everybody that came before us, because without them, we wouldn't be here.
My grandfather took a job with the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. He worked there for approximately 10 years.
Worked his way up through many different positions, retired at an early age, and at one point bought the rights to distribute goods here in Pittsburgh for $500.
And the company went by the name of W.J. Beitler.
So he would send a horse and wagon to meet the train to get the goods and then distribute those.
The second generation would be my father and his two brothers. They entered the business after 1944, my father being the first. During the war, my two uncles were in the service, and after the war they returned and went to work in the business. My father used to like to quote a phrase that said, "The only product we have to sell is quality." And so everything he did, he tried to bring the quality level up to be the best in the industry. My father really liked trucks. He saw that as a future, and he developed specifically that direction of the business. So he was actually a pioneer in that respect. In 1956, and they built a 50,000 square foot building. Later on, they built another addition for 25,000 square feet. I came to work here at the company. I was the traffic manager. And I left the business and became a flight instructor, charter pilot, a real estate salesman, etc. About 7 years later, my father turned over his third interest to me.
Shortly after I started, Bill Beitler came back to the company and we started expanding. Seemed like we never stopped expanding.
Got us all back there behind you.
Kirk came into business originally in 1973, and he left to work in the trucking industry until the 80s, when he came to work again and has been here ever since. And he and I represent the third generations.
I did a little bit of everything. I worked in the warehouse, worked in the office upstairs. It's nice to look back and reflect how things used to be and how they are today.
You know, you have to respect everybody, and if you do, they'll respect you. I tried to make it so that when they came to work, they were working for me and themselves. We're working together. Ron Kirsch was our operations manager.
I started with the company in 1965. I was 23 years old.
And he and I worked together and accomplished so much. It's just hard to really relate it all. But I don't think I could have done it without him.
That's when we started to expand. Things started to grow. Improvements were made, expanding territory, doing things we hadn't done before.
We had other people that I brought up from the ranks, such as Mike Flynn, Denny Coyne.
You know, when you work with a company that is constantly growing and expanding, it gives you a real good feeling of security.
They know the procedures, they know what's going on, and they can do a much better job.
I often ask them, why in the heck did you ever put me in this job? He said, because if I tried to do anything wrong, you'd tell me about it.
Everybody gets a little fatigued after running a business for 25 years. No one knows if the following generations are going to be interested in the business or not interested.
My brothers and I grew up out in the country. We got a chance to work together at an early age. Our dad would always come home and talk about work, and I think my brothers and I were just intrigued.
Working with family, it's always good because you're working towards a common goal. My degree was in industrial management, and yeah, I came out of school right into the business. I've been working since high school and college summers. That's about 25 years ago.
During summers in college, we worked our way up through the business, including driving trucks. When I graduated college, Arthur Anderson Business Consulting picked me up in their supply chain group, and I just got to see a half dozen different companies, see how they manage their people. It gave me a better perspective of what it was that we do in the family business.
I started working summers when I was 14. I always liked computers, so it seemed like a good fit to come and learn and actually program with computers here at the company.
In the very beginning, most of the transactions were done with a hand receipt, literally.
I always think, how did we ever do? I had to wait for the mail to come in to send somebody something by mail again.
Myself and my brothers kind of brainstorming what we can do with technology. How can we automate the process? We found some barcode scanners. I started writing some software to download all the orders from our customers. We're much more efficient now.
My sons were capable of introducing computers right at the picking level and at the administration level, so that all of the activity could be put into a file accessible by anybody.
It's always a good thing to take a system, a company, people, and look for what can we do to improve this. The driver app, that's an iPhone app. When our drivers make deliveries, they have all their information in the iPhone app, as their route, all the stops they have. Back here at the office, we can see all that in real time.
So they could literally watch the business every day as it occurred.
Our growth has been really amazing. We've been able to protect our core business and add really good accounts. Starting Beitler Logistics Services was huge.
We're a logistics management and consulting company. We deliver freight around the country for retail customers.
One of my favorite memories here is the GAP implementation. That was quite an undertaking. GAP told us that was one of their smoothest implementations.
With our industry, we got to stay competitive, so with all the retail that we've been getting in and stuff like that, and different accounts, adding Roswell to the mix, we're staying busy.
When Noble announced they were closing their Pittsburgh operation, we were able to step in, save jobs, and add traditional warehousing accounts.
The way the three brothers run the company, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We keep growing. Now we have another warehouse, and it's good. It's a good future.
By no means is it easy. But it's a challenge, and I like challenges.
My brothers and I are very fortunate to have the parents that we have. Our mother doesn't get the credit that she deserves. She's just been there and loves you and cares for you. My dad has always been my role model. He's also taught me how to put a good team of people in place and make sure that you back them and back their decisions.
It was great learning from someone who has so much experience in the industry and is very respected in the industry.
If we look at this company, we rely on so many different people that do an amazing job. We're very fortunate. We have 20% of our people have been here for 20 years or more.
August 14, 1978, first day in the company.
So I have 38 years. Started the day I got out of high school. I'm really proud that they brought me up through the ranks.
I have worked for the company for 39 years. Bill Beitler Sr. hired me. Besides loyalty, he told me I wasn't allowed to leave.
I started back in 1983, and I've been here 34 years. Still clicking, a couple more to go, hopefully.
We have people that truly are craftsmen in the work that they do. Our customer service group is fantastic as far as their knowledge and responsiveness. They get that order turned to the warehouse where they can go out and accurately pick the order, put it on the right truck, the right quantities. And then we have drivers that have amazing rapport with our delivery locations. And they get the product delivered on time, damage-free. We also have a management group that has a ton of experience and can really manage the exceptions. We have amazing mechanics in our shop, and we've got a ton of different, unique equipment on our trucks and technology that requires a high level of skill.
I would just like to thank all our employees who every day put in long hours, their dedication to the job. That's really what has made this company great.
Life is really better if you have a purpose-driven life, and if you have a purpose and you can deliver for customers and do it in a way that is exceptional.
When it comes down to it, our employees are our company.
You can't find any finer people. They do the best job.
I was with the company for 42 years. Started when I was 23, retired when I was 65, and gave me and my family a good life.
I'm most thankful for all of the people that we get to work with. We're just getting started. We have so much more that we can do. The future here is bright.